Greetings, parasite ecologists. In this video, we're going to talk about a very special protozoan, Toxoplasma gondii, or Toxo for short. Toxo belongs in the phylum Apicomplexa and the order Eucoccidia, sometimes called the true coccidians. It shares the phylum Apicomplexa with another well-known and well-studied group of parasites, protozoans in the order Hemosporidae, and the genus Plasmodium, otherwise known as the parasites that cause malaria in humans and other animals. We'll talk about them later on. The Apicomplexa are an entirely parasitic phylum. They have an apical complex, which is what they are named for. That apical complex is essentially a suite of organelles, all involved in the penetration of host cells. The apical complex is what allows the apicomplexans to get inside of host cells, which is kind of their MO in life. The rope trees in particular, which are black on this diagram, are the organelles most vital for the penetration process. This is what most apicomplexans, including Toxo, look like up close. Now let's specifically discuss Toxo. I think there's a good argument to be made that this might be the world's most successful parasite. It is a global parasite found everywhere, including in the Arctic and Antarctica. It infects every single mammal and bird species on the face of the planet, and it manages to induce radical behavior modification in its intermediate hosts, including some of the most complex organisms on Earth, by which I mean us. It's possible for Toxo, this single-celled protozoan parasite, to manipulate the behavior of hosts as complex as humans. I think that makes it a strong candidate for being the world's most successful parasite. But before I tell you anything more about Toxo, I want you to answer a few questions. Question number 1, do you live with a cat? And question number 2, do you like your hamburgers rare? Okay, why am I asking you about cats and hamburgers? What does any of this have to do with parasites? Here it is. If you answered yes to either question, you may have Toxo. Cats and undercooked hamburgers put you at risk for being infected by this parasite, which is already inside of 1 out of every 3 people on the face of the planet. I probably have it, and you may have it too. It's found in people on every continent. Most people have no idea that they're infected. And not only is it everywhere, it might actually be making us do, say, and think things that we otherwise wouldn't. Yes, even though Toxo is just a single-celled organism, it is capable of pulling the strings of our behavior. It's like a puppet master, and we're the puppets. Let's find out why this happens. First, we have to look at the natural life cycle of this parasite. Toxo starts life out in the gut of a cat. There, the adult stage of the parasite undergoes sexual reproduction and produces eggs, or oocysts, which pass out of the cat's gut with the cat's poop. As the turd decomposes, those tiny eggs can get onto the surrounding area, covering anything. Sometimes mice or rats eat up those eggs accidentally when they're on a bit of food that the rodent finds. The egg then hatches in the mouse's stomach and moves through its body until it finds a nice, cozy place to settle down and wait. When another cat eats the mouse, the parasite has reached its ultimate destination. It makes eggs, and the life cycle continues. Toxo also does something super-duper sneaky to its mouse host. Because it can just wait around in the mouse until the mouse gets eaten by a cat. Mice get eaten by cats all the time. But that's not good enough for Toxo. It wants to be sure that it's going to wind up in the gut of a cat. And so it does something to its mouse host. Whereas mice are normally afraid of cats and will run away and hide as soon as they see or smell a cat, Toxo-infected mice are totally unafraid. They're reckless. They love the smell of cats, and they run straight for them. And of course, this makes the mouse very likely to be eaten by a cat, exactly what the parasite wanted all along. Now, how do humans get mixed up in this life cycle? Really easily. We already know that Toxo produces eggs, which are in cat poop. As a cat turd decomposes, those tiny eggs can get onto the surrounding area, including grass, where they can be eaten up by mice, but also by grazing animals like sheep and cows. The eggs hatch in the sheep or cow's gut and move into their muscle. If a human then eats the meat from that sheep or cow and doesn't cook it at hot enough temperatures, they can become infected with toxo. People can also become infected by accidentally eating cat poop. I know that you would never purposefully eat cat poop, but it is possible for very small amounts of cat poop to get onto vegetables, for example, if they're growing in a field where cats are pooping. You can also get infected if you let your cat walk around on kitchen counters after it's just used the litter box. So that is why people who own cats and like their hamburgers rare are at greater risk of getting toxo. And those are the basics of Toxoplasma gondii, but hang on for next time when we'll talk about its pathology in humans and in marine mammals. I'll see you in the next video.